people to the place he calls his redneck resort. Tonight, 16 by 9 exposes more troubling concerns about what may be going on at Dave's farm. And now some very angry people are coming forward to warn about the potential dangers. It's absolutely startling the number of car-loving kids who have discovered Dave Rock on YouTube and found their way to his farm.
Let's get a little bit of air.
And it's documented in video.
Yeah, buddy.
After video.
My fans are fanatical and not just someone they casually watch. It's almost like they're in love with me or something.
So the big question remains, who is the real Dave Rock? Is he a big kid who never grew up, or a sexual predator using his farm to attract kids?
Well, on the surface it looks kind of like a Michael Jackson ranch. I want it to be public when people are here so that no one can make these accusations, because whenever children are here, there's always lots of other people here.
13-year-old Garrett Kemp was a Dave Rock mega fan and a loyal follower. He says he was born a car fanatic, and last year, when he discovered Dave Rock on YouTube, nothing could stop him from going to the farm. How old were you?
I was 12.
12. You're 12, and you're there by yourself.
Yeah, quite a bit by myself.
Garrett says Dave let him drive and bang up cars. He says he was allowed to do some pretty dangerous stunts. Do you have a driver's license?
No.
Did you wear a helmet?
Not for anything, really.
Garrett says he loved going to Dave's farm and knew nothing at the time about Dave's criminal past. He says he became a regular.
Why don't we got a new farm car rather than Temple?
Well, abuse it. Treat it like your old lady.
But as time passed, he says Dave became stranger and stranger. He talked about a very uncomfortable moment he had with Dave while fixing a car.
He handed me a tub of grease to put on it so that it would be protected from rust and dirt. Anyways, and then he said, "You're putting the lube on the penis," and then when it came to putting the parts back together, he says, "So now you take the penis and put it into the vagina."
But that was nothing compared to what he was about to tell us. He says he witnessed an incident he'll never forget. It happened on a weekend night when he and a bunch of underage kids had a sleepover at the farm. He says it's the reason he hasn't gone back.
The creepiest thing that I've most found uncomfortable is that night up there when he came into the room and the kid was like dancing around nude.
How many of you were there?
There was seven or eight of us.
Garrett says while some adults were socializing downstairs, Dave came upstairs to their room carrying a strobe light. He says kids were dancing and taking off their clothes. He says Dave watched as a 12-year-old danced naked under the strobe. But he says it got worse. When it was time for the boys to go to bed, that same 12-year-old ended up in bed with Dave Rock.
We were figuring out where we were sleeping. So me and my two other friends, we just sat in the chairs kind of. And after a while, there was a kid that went to bed and there was two spots left, Dave's bed and one more spot, so he slept with Dave. And after a while, he was just, the kid was moaning and just like, okay, that's awkward, so we just said, forget this. We got up, walked away.
Garrett says the next day was the last time he would see that boy, and when he tried to contact him, the 12-year-old had deleted his YouTube account. Garrett says he no longer wants anything to do with Dave or the farm. We found the boy Garrett told us about. We can't tell you who he is, but we can tell you we contacted his parents who are divorced. His mother says she does remember being at the farm that night, but that she had to return to London and felt very confident leaving her 12-year-old son in the care of Dave Rock. In the meantime, she says she's spoken to her son about this incident, and he's denied anything ever happened. She is, however, going to take him to a child psychologist. 16 by 9 discovered even more disturbing videos. Watch and listen to this one carefully.
First time I let you drive, you're going to sit on my lap. This is hard because you're kind of a big kid.
It's an 11-year-old boy driving a car for the first time at the farm. Like one of the videos I watched was an 11-year-old boy driving one of your vehicles and he's sitting on your lap.
I'll get the broadside of the barn.
Do you understand the position you put yourself into with the kind of background that you have?
It makes me look guilty of something I haven't done.
Are you conditioning these kids that come here on the weekends for other things?
Oh, I 100% believe, a lot of people believe that I could be conditioning people. I'm in a position of something like authority here just because I'm the person who runs the farm, and young and old have some sort of respect for me, just like a priest or somebody, so that might give me more power to make the wrong move and do something wrong.
Dave says he's safe and hasn't tried anything with children since his charges 20 years ago.
When I hit 42, I had a big hormonal change, and I think I lost a lot of testosterone because all this horniness I used to have seemed to disappear, and now I'm rarely ever horny. I used to wake up every morning with an erection, and now that rarely ever happens. I have a computer, and I absolutely never look at porn, ever. There's not a naked picture. I just don't do that kind of thing.
If you were a convicted pedophile, you have no business ever driving around in a car by yourself with an 11-year-old kid sitting on your lap.
Chris Whitcroft was a Dave Brock disciple and an addicted YouTuber. He almost died at Dave's farm last year. This is the stunning video of Chris inside this Winnebago. It is a stunt gone horribly wrong.
The ceiling just came down and smashed me in the top of the head. My entire body was like on fire. It was just, you know what I mean? It was like my brain wasn't even functioning.
Chris had broken his back. Watch as he lies in agony on the ground. He was in the hospital for 11 days. He believes with everyone trying to outdo each other's stunts on Dave's farm, sooner or later someone is going to die.
Don't try this at home, kids.
I mean, if you're a parent and you let your kid go out there, you're an idiot.
Chris says he is haunted by things he saw and tried to ignore. Did you ever feel uncomfortable when you saw teenage children, teenage boys out there?
Well, there's a couple times when I've seen some things that I just had to walk away.
He says he was shocked and concerned when he saw a naked Dave crawl into a hot tub with a 10-year-old boy and the boy's father.
10-year-old was just jumping in the hot tub with his, swimming trunks on, just having to, sit in the hot tub, And Dave walks up, drops his trowel, jumps right in like it's no big deal. Not cool, man.
We told Dave about Chris Whitcroft and what he says he saw. He has come out publicly and said that he's very concerned about what he sees here.
Well, he's only been that way since he became a hater. After he hurt himself, he wasn't that way before. He just decided to choose sides.
But again, why would you put yourself in that position?
And you can't see anything under the water when the bubbles and froth are there.
Dave says he's put an end to any questionable behavior on the farm.
The high-risk sexual situations which you're talking about and the high-risk stunt situations, I've stopped them all.
Still to come on 16 by 9.